Hi guys, I think I'm live now. If everything is working well and if you can see me and if you can hear me, please do let me know that everything is good. Then we'll start the session today. Please do like this stream also. And please do subscribe to our channel. The session for today will be an informal discussion. This discussion is for students who have just started preparing for CAT. As you know, CAT will be held in the last week of November most of the times. Either last week of November or sometimes even in the first week of December. So we have roughly around 7 more months to prepare for 7 to 8 months to prepare for CAT. In my opinion, this is a good enough time for somebody who is a serious aspirant to prepare well for CAT. So in this session, we will be looking at what is the best way to start preparing for CAT. There are two types of people who actually appear for CAT. There are some people who are freshers or people who have not taken CAT before, and there are some people who have taken CAT before but they have not been able to do very well. So this I think will help both the types of students. If you have any doubts, please do feel free to ask in the chat and we'll try to respond to them. Please do like this stream also. If you like this stream, then we'll be more motivated to conduct this kind of streams more regularly. Keshav Raj Tripathi is saying hi sir. Hi Keshav, how are you? I hope you have started your preparation for CAT. So this session will be divided into a few topics. First, we'll give some brief introduction about what CAT is and what are the first steps that you should do to prepare. After that, we'll look at the 3 important sections in CAT. As many of you know, there are 3 sections in CAT. One of them is quant. The next one is LRDA, and we also have verbal. So we'll look at what are the important topics in each one of them and what is the best way for you to approach each one of them. And finally, we'll be looking at the frequently asked questions. In the meantime, if you have any doubts or if you have any questions with respect to whatever we're discussing, again, please feel free to comment in the chat. We'll look at all the comments and then we will try to answer them. We got a few comments. Let me look at it now. Nasib Punya is saying, good evening, sir. Good evening, Nasib. Monu Raj is saying, how to start preparation for VRC? Yeah, I'll be looking at the preparations for quant, verbal and LRDA. So we'll definitely discuss this in the coming slides. Suraj is saying good evening, sir. Good evening, Suraj. Pungadi Venkatachalam is saying, hi, sir. I'm an above average student. My mind is blind when coming to solving quant questions. So please help me with some other tips. Okay, definitely we'll be looking at that question when we are looking at the quant section. That will be the first slide after this. So one of the things that people should do, this is especially true for students who are freshers or who have not taken CAT before or probably have taken CAT only once. These are the kind of students who are still new to the whole pattern of the examination. The first thing I would ask you to do is definitely go through the previous papers. The previous papers for CAT 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020 and 2021. All of them are freely available. All of them are actually available in our Krakow website. You can download them completely for free. And all of them have detailed solutions. So the first step that anybody who is preparing for CAT should do is first go through the previous papers. It is especially important that you go through the latest papers, that is CAT 2020 and CAT 2021. And also I would suggest look at CAT 2019. CAT 2020 and CAT 2021, these are important because these were 2-hour examinations. Now we don't really know whether CAT 2022 will be 2 hours or 3 hours. But there is a good chance that it will be a 2-hour examination again. So it is important for you to go through both of these papers. And in case they revert back to the 3-hour pattern, it again makes sense for you to look at CAT 2019 also. So the reason for you to look at these papers is because you'll get an idea about what are the kind of questions that are asked. Especially if you're looking at LRDA. What are the kind of sets that are asked? Because LRDA is one of the most trickiest sections to prepare for because there is no clear way in which you can improve in LRDA. There is a very clear way in which you can improve in quant. There is a very clear way in which you can improve in VRC. But to improve in LRDA, there is no fixed pattern. You will have to keep targeting different areas of your brain and you need to keep improving in different aspects and tangentially you will keep improving in LRDA. But for that, you need to have a good sense of what are the kind of sets that are asked. So the first thing you should do is look at the previous papers of the 5 papers that I discussed and spend some time. For each of these years, there will be multiple slots. So spend at least one day on each of these slots. Go through all the questions. You need not answer all of them, but at least you should get a good idea about what are the kind of questions that are asked. So that when you're starting preparation, you have at least some sort of a mental map that, okay, if this question is coming, I have seen a similar question earlier in one of the papers. You need not remember the question, but at least you should know that this question, I have seen this somewhere before. So then your mind will start getting attuned to the kind of questions that can be expected. The second thing I would recommend you to do in the first 1 week of your serious preparation. This is, I think, is very, very important. You might not have covered a lot of syllabus. You might not be very comfortable with the fundamentals, but definitely take one free mock. One mock, whether it is free or paid, but definitely take one mock in the first 1 week of your preparation. The reason for this is because if you are looking at just the previous papers, probably you will not be paying a lot of attention to the questions. But once you take a mock, it won't be for long, it will be for 2 hours. You might not score very well. You might actually score quite poorly if you have just started preparation, but at least you will take the examination seriously. And you will also get a good idea about what are the questions that you're doing well, what are the questions that you're not doing well, what is the section that you're doing well, what is the section you're not doing well. Many people who can speak good English sometimes have a sense that they will be able to ease through in VRC. Especially some students who can't speak English very well feel that they will struggle in VRC. But VRC is not just about English speaking abilities. VRC is also about, in fact, VRC is mostly about comprehension. When you read a passage, how are you able to comprehend it? So again, whether you are strong or whether you are weak, you will know only if you take a mock. And once you take a mock, you will get an immediate assessment that, okay, I'm faring well in this particular section, I'm not faring well in this particular section, so I need to start my preparation in a certain way. The second thing that we'll do is, if you don't do well, that is actually a good thing, because suddenly you will feel the pressure to actually start preparing seriously. That also is going to help you quite a lot. So one of the things I would recommend you to do is, in the first 1 week or first 2 weeks of your preparation, there is a very good chance you have not completed your syllabus, you are nowhere close to completing your syllabus, but definitely take one mock, because that is going to kickstart your preparation and it is going to help you quite a lot later on. The second thing is knowing the syllabus. You can download the complete syllabus for CAT in our Kraku website. Just search for Kraku CAT syllabus. You can download the PDF for the entire syllabus. Then again, you will get a good sense of what are the kind of topics that are there, what are the topics that are not there. And once you have a syllabus, then again you will start preparing seriously. You will not be preparing topics that are not really important. Somebody was asking where they can take free mocks. Kraku is providing 3 free mocks for CAT. All of them are in the latest pattern. They are in the pattern of the CAT 2021 paper. So you can take this 3 free mocks, take one mock every week, just to assess how you stand, where you stand with respect to many other people. You might not do very well, but it will definitely help you in the near future. If you put off taking mocks till the very end, I think there will not be a planned way in which you are going to prepare well. If you take mocks regularly, it is going to help you quite a lot. The last thing I would tell you is make a schedule. At this time, after you have gone through the previous papers, after you have taken a free mock, after you are very comfortable with the syllabus, I'll discuss the important topics in quant, verbal and LRDI in the coming slides. But once you have a good sense of what is the task at hand, what are the things that need to be done, then I would recommend you to make a schedule. When you're making a schedule, you should have 2 different types of schedules. One schedule is the long-term schedule. Long-term schedule will be something that you're planning from now till November. Every month you should have a rough idea about what you plan to do. That is, okay, I'm going to finish the entire portion by say July or August. Then I'm going to start, you should start taking mocks earlier, but okay, then you should feel that, okay, I'll be taking one mock every 2 weeks or one mock every 3 weeks till August. And from August, I'm going to take more mocks. That is a rough idea about what you're going to do in every single month. The second thing is having a short-term view. The second important schedule is you should figure out, okay, in the next 3 weeks or in the next 4 weeks, every week, what am I going to do? Because once you have this sort of a clarity, you'll be very productive. We have given a schedule that we recommend students follow, again for free. Just search for Kraku CAT schedule. You can download the PDF. This will tell you what you should prepare every single day. This is basically the schedule that we are following for our 7-month crash course for CAT. So in the 7-month crash course, every day we'll tell students what are the list of videos to be watched, what are the questions that they should cover, what are the concepts that they should know. And but this PDF of the topic names that they should study is available for free for everyone. So if you're looking for a good schedule, you can definitely follow this. The material will be available for the premium students, but the schedule, the PDF of the topic names is available for everyone. So somebody who hasn't subscribed to Kraku can also make use of the schedule. So definitely do check out the StartCAT schedule also. So you have a good sense of what should be done and what should not be done. Let me look at a few questions. We have close to 50 people who are watching this session live. Guys, please do like this stream. I'll answer a few questions before we go further. Vipul Kumar is saying, hi sir, I am from a rural area of Bihar. No one even knowing about CAT, but I want to give CAT. But I am in my second year of Bachelor Arts. I have a lot of respect for students who are actually preparing from tier 2 or tier 3 cities, because clearly the amount of resources that they have with respect to the experience or with respect to the information that is available to them is limited. But things have clearly changed because of internet, the widespread connectivity. So if you have any doubts with respect to how to prepare, you can definitely ask us. You can follow our channel. We keep uploading these kind of videos very regularly. So if you are having any issues with any particular section, or if you are taking mocks and not scoring well, anything that is coming up, you can definitely feel free to comment in any of our videos. We look at all the comments and we are definitely going to respond to all of them. If you are in your second year of Bachelor of Arts, I would recommend you to focus on keeping a good CGPA and also start preparing for CAT. Second year of Arts, you I think will give CAT probably next year, right? Because Bachelor of Arts will be for 3 years if I'm not wrong. So you have a lot of time. You can make good use of that time. Inculcate good habits, good long-term habits. Good long-term habits will also help you in CAT. What are the good long-term habits? Something like, say, inculcate a reading habit. Read the newspaper every single day. Read an English newspaper every single day from one end to another end. All the articles, don't just go through the editorials and the op-eds, even though that is a very efficient thing to do, but you will probably burn out, because if you're not really enjoying an editorial or an op-ed, you will stop actually reading that after a few weeks. So, but if you are enjoying even like say news about sports, that also is going to help you improve your reading skills, and then slowly you will also read the other topics in the newspaper. So just pick up a newspaper and keep reading it. Even if it is something which is not super important or super serious, like say business or economics or anything like that, just keep reading something that is interesting you, because then you are going to develop the reading habit, which will help you later. Harish is saying, hi sir, is the 7-month course flexible? There are daily schedules, I can only dedicate time during the weekend. This is again a very common theme. If you can dedicate time during the weekend, just finish whatever has been given till in that 1 week. Don't let the backlog accumulate for more time, but whatever has been asked to be done in that particular week, you can definitely do it over the weekend. So there is no hard and fast time for you to actually do it. This is basically a recommended schedule that we are giving. So for example, for students who don't really know, every day we will send students mails. Every day we tell them that, okay, today you have to watch this particular video, you have to solve these particular questions, you have to read this particular notes. So those are the 3 tasks that somebody has to do on a particular day, because that is something that we believe in, that if you are doing things on a consistent basis, if you're putting in the effort every single day, you are going to gain a lot of benefit over time. Now somebody who doesn't have time every single day can do all the tasks that have been given for that entire week over the weekend. This is not ideal, because I believe that for your brain to actually understand, for your brain to actually assess whatever information has been given to it, it is going to take some time. So if you are giving it a lot of information over 2 days and then you are not doing anything for 5 days, there is a good chance your brain will again forget whatever you have learned over the weekend. So try to inculcate or try to put in at least 30 minutes every single day. I'm sure you can take 30 minutes out of your time, even though what we give will take probably 1 hour. At least spend 30 minutes every single day. Make that a habit to at least finish half of the tasks that we are assigning you. You can definitely, if something has come up and if there is some emergency and you are not able to cater to the assignments over 3-4 days, that won't matter. You can definitely do them later. But as a habit, try to finish most of the tasks on the day that is that they are assigned to you. Shivam Bharati is saying, good evening sir. Good evening Shivam. Rakshita Kaushik is saying, hi sir, I've started my prep with Kraku and I'm working also. Is devoting 1-2 days sufficient? And how should we increase our speed and accuracy? I think definitely devoting 1-2 hours right now is more than sufficient. 1-2 hours from now till June or July will be more than sufficient. I think from the end of July we would ask you to prepare for some more time in the last 3-4 months. But from now on, if you are catering 1 to 2 hours every single day, that will help you immensely. You are going to do very well on the day of the examination. If you are just sticking to our schedule, following all the tasks that we are giving, and every single day you are spending 1 to 2 hours, that is more than sufficient for now till at least the end of July. And if you are looking for how to increase speed, there is another concept that we believe in. We believe in targeted learning, and this is something that I want students also to follow. The targeted learning basically means that there is active learning and there is passive learning. Passive learning is watching a video. If you watch a concept video, you will think that you have understood it, and there's a good chance you understood the concept. But CAT doesn't test how much you have understood. It actually, the way you do well in CAT is by actually answering the questions. So for example, you should be very good at actually applying whatever you learned on the day of the examination in solving these questions. So every time you watch a video, any video, whether it is a concept video, whether it is some theorem, after you watch any video, try to find out questions from that particular topic and try to answer them. If you are again subscribed to Kraku, after every video, whether it is a concept video, whether it is a theorem that we have explained, any video, there will always be a test. The test will be for around say 5 questions. All of the questions will come from the same concept. The reason for that and what I believe in, what we believe in at Kraku is that once you watch a video and once you answer questions from that particular concept, you will have confidence that okay, now I have understood this concept and now I also know how to actually apply the particular concept and answer questions. Then your understanding is will become quite firm. So if you are not enrolled to Kraku also, and if you are following somebody else's material also, try to find out questions and try to answer them. So just don't do passive learning of watching a video and then ignoring it or not answering questions. Right now we have a graph that we normally use to explain this concept even better. So right now suppose this is April and you have time till November. This is November. And say the amount of work you are doing is say 100%. This is 100%. Now right now 80% of the things that you are doing will be passive. That is, you will be watching videos, you will be learning concepts, and 20% that you are doing will be active learning. 20% you will be actually solving questions. But 80% right now you are just learning, you are trying to improve your fundamentals. But this 80% should continue to decrease over time. On the day of the examination or just before the examination, it should become 20%. And you should be solving a lot more questions. Then you should be doing 80% of learning should be active. Especially from say August, September, you should be taking mocks more regularly. You should be solving more and more questions. Even now, if you're watching a video like I discussed earlier, you should at least solve a few questions from that particular video. That is how you gain confidence. That is how concepts will become a lot more clearer for you and you can go further. So this is basically something that you should remember. The percentage of active learning should continue to increase from now till CAT. Monuraj SD Gaming is saying, sir, how many months are enough for CAT preparation? I would say if you start now, you have time now. When is the best time to start preparing for CAT? The answer for that is today. Don't delay your preparation because concepts take time for you to get clearer in your head. If you are reading a concept or if you are reading a new theorem, and if you read the theorem again a few days later, it will become clearer for you. So don't cram things into your brain in the last few months. When you have 7 months, make the best use of this 7 months. Guys, please do like this stream. We have close to 49 likes. I want to make it to around say 100 likes before the stream ends. Another thing that I would tell you is this is especially true for students who are working professionals, because students who are in college probably have a peer group already and many of their friends will be taking CAT. But somebody who is working in a company, probably that person doesn't have a peer group, and if you don't have a peer group, staying focused is difficult. because sometimes people lose focus because they feel that some of their friends are doing something else. And if you are especially working in a company, probably many times you will not actually openly tell people that you are taking CAT. So you probably don't even know who are the other people in your company who are taking CAT. So for these kind of people, it is very important for you to develop a peer group. You can find a peer group online. There are many communities, join them. We also have a very active Telegram group. If you join our Telegram group, again, you will stay in touch with other people who are taking CAT. This is important for you to be motivated, and it will help you stay focused. So try to have some sort of a peer group. It can be either on Facebook, it can be on WhatsApp. There are many WhatsApp groups. There is one Telegram group, like I told you, on our own channel. There are other sites also where you can be in touch with other people who are preparing for CAT. So ensure that you have some sort of a peer group, so that it will always be there at the back of your mind that, okay, if I did not prepare today, you should feel a little guilty. So now let us go ahead and look at the 3 important sections and what are the topics that are important, and for each one of them, for quant, for verbal and for LRDI, we'll try to figure out how you can actually get better. Suhil Kohli is saying, sir, 2022 is my first attempt of CAT with preparation. I'm a Krakow student, batch 7. I have decent quant and comprehension. My CAT 2021 score is 95.2. How can I reach 99.5 mark this year? One of the things that I want you to tell me is, how did you score in each of the different sections? If all the 3 sections you have done equally good, then you have to improve in each one of them. If clearly there is one section which you did not perform well, many times people don't do well in verbal, for example, then you can easily improve your score quite a lot by getting better in that one particular section. Another thing which I believe in is the rule of 1%. The rule of 1% essentially says that there is no clear way in which you can become much better. So this, I think I have read this about the British cycling team, where they were doing well, but they were not coming on top, and they wanted to win the Olympic gold. So then they were figuring out how we can actually get better. So they thought that in each one of the aspects of racing, let us try to get 1% better. So they looked at everything that matters on the day of the race. So for example, to get good sleep, they used different pillows. Now to improve their fitness, they used a different diet. Every single thing that goes into preparing for the race, they were trying to make each one of it 1% better. And if you are improving each aspect by 1%, the cumulative effect will be significant. Another way to look at it is, if you are, say, improving 1% every single day for 1 year, then you will become at the end of 1 year 1.01 to the power 365. This is simple compounding. This will approximately come to around 37. So if you are improving 1% every single day for 1 year, you will become 37 times better. This is a concept that I believe in. So if you are looking to improve from 95 percentile to 99.5 percentile, you have to look at each aspect of your CAT preparation and try to improve each one of them slightly more. So if you are, for example, doing well in quant, but you are, say, committing silly mistakes in a certain topic, so try to eliminate silly mistakes. In quant, for example, if you are looking at the important topics, which we are going to discuss now, are you doing well in each one of the important topics? If you are doing very well in each of the important topics, then look at the topics which are not so important. Try to improve in them. How is your speed? How is your accuracy? Is your speed good? How many questions are you able to attempt in 40 minutes? Can you improve slightly more? How is your accuracy? Can you improve your accuracy slightly more? Can you improve your accuracy in quant? Can you improve your accuracy in verbal? Can you improve it in LRDI? In each one of them, if you are improving your speed and accuracy slightly more, then again it is going to matter quite a lot. This is how you are going to go from 95 to 99.5. Anyway, if you're looking at the important topics in quant, the important topics in quant, which are the topics that you should definitely start with, are geometry and arithmetic. These are 2 very important topics for quant, and both of them are not very difficult. Geometry might seem quite complex. Some people are overwhelmed when they look at geometry because it looks like there are a lot of formulas. But geometry can again be divided into 2 parts. One is the solids. This will be basically volume, surface area, lateral surface area, all of these things will come, but most of them will just involve formulas. If you know the formulas of the surface area, volume, area, all of this for a bunch of solids like cylinder, cone, you can easily get the entire solids questions definitely right, because it is difficult to make tricky questions in this aspect. The second one is 2D geometry. 2D geometry will be basically triangles, circles, polygons. This will be slightly more complex because there will be a lot more theorems that are involved. But still, if you know all the theorems, for example, if you know all the theorems in circles, there will be hardly around 10 to 12 formulas in circles. If you know all of them, and like I said earlier, once you read a theorem, if you have solved 5 questions from that particular theorem, suddenly you will feel more confident. If there's a question which involves circles that comes up, you will be thinking that, okay, which of these formulas should I actually apply? You will know that only if you know all the 10 to 12 formulas and you have applied each of these 10 to 12 formulas in say 5 questions. So overall, you just need to answer around 50 to 60 questions for you to suddenly become more confident in geometry. And another thing is we actually have a formula book which is bought by a lot of students. CAT formula book, it is there on our store. We'll give you the link to purchase it. It just costs 99 rupees. This is all the important formulas that are needed for CAT. So definitely do purchase it if you are looking for a CAT formula book. The second very important topic is arithmetic. Arithmetic will basically involve topics like say time, speed, distance, ratio and proportion, averages and percentages. All of these topics come under arithmetic. This also is a very important topic, and there are again a lot of formulas that are involved in each one of them. But again, if you get a good sense of the important formulas and how to apply them, it is not very difficult to do well in arithmetic also. Many of the questions that are asked from arithmetic are actually quite simple and quite straightforward, and this is in general a very scoring area. Geometry, as I said, you can score well if you put in the effort, but people tend to get overwhelmed. Arithmetic, on the other hand, is a very scoring topic, so you should definitely go through it. These two are by far the most important topics. In addition to that, there are other important topics. The other important topics are algebra. This will involve quadratic equations, linear equations, anything with variables, and recently even modern maths. Many people underestimate the importance of modern maths, something like say logarithms, surds, but questions are often asked from these topics also. And logarithms questions, again, for example, are very simple and very straightforward because the number of formulas that are there in logarithms are very, very limited and very, very simple and straightforward. So don't get worried or don't get intimidated by modern maths when you are looking at all of these signs or all of these symbols. Just try to understand all the formulas in logarithms and surds, and most likely you will be able to answer those questions well. These four make up the bulk of the important topics in quant. Go through all the formulas, and for each formula try to solve 5 to 10 questions and keep solving them regularly. If you're looking for a good place, you can either go to our Kraku study room, where you can just pick up the topic, the difficulty level, and you will get a bunch of questions which will be very good, which will cater to your proficiency. So somebody who has just started preparing for CAT is going to get easy questions, but somebody who has solved a lot of easy questions is going to get more difficult questions. That is Kraku study room. And another thing is Kraku daily target. Kraku daily target, we give one test in quant, one test in LRDA, and one test in verbal. All of those questions will be from one particular topic. For example, in quant, today's topic might be ratio and proportion. So you will get 5 questions in ratio and proportion along with the video solutions. In LRDA, you will get one set every single day along with video solution. Same with even verbal. So again, if you are looking for a good place to practice, definitely do consider enrolling to either Kraku study room or Kraku daily target. This is as far as topics in quant are concerned. Now, how you can get better will only depend on how much effort you are putting in. Remember what we discussed earlier, there is active learning and there is passive learning. If you want to improve better, if you want to improve your speed, if you want to improve your confidence, accuracy will improve with confidence. Because once you feel that, okay, this is a topic I'm actually quite good at. Once you feel that way, once you believe that, your accuracy will automatically improve. And you can't lie to yourself. You will believe that only if you actually start getting better. And you get better only by practicing as much as you can. Let me try to answer some questions, and after that we'll go to the next topics. Kaush to be saying amazing, sir. Vipul Kumar is saying which paper, sir, which newspaper. Normally go through any paper, man. Again, it is good for you to inculcate that habit. If you are asking me, I would say go for the Indian Express. It's a good paper. You can even look at Times of India. Many people feel that Times of India is not a serious paper, but again, it has some good aspects. And if you are reading Times of India also from end to end, or at least 2-3 pages in Times of India, that is a good start. From then on, you can carry to other important or more serious newspapers, but start somewhere. I am ABC target is saying any discount for repeaters. If you are looking for discounts or if you are looking for any scholarships in our Kraku courses, please send a mail to support@kraku.in. In that, please do mention your phone number and your email address, and somebody is going to get back to you from our side with the best possible discount. Manish Kumar Raja is saying, sir, I have 1 year gap between my 10th and 12th examinations. Will it affect my CAT campus selection? 10th marks, 12th marks from JC board. No gap and all. First of all, there are a couple of ways to look at it. Whatever has happened in the past, you can't change it. Right now, what is in your hands is doing well in CAT. So just focus on it. Now, in my opinion, it won't impact a lot if there is a gap between your 10th and 12th. Siddharth Shah, I have enrolled to Kraku. How can I cope up with the schedule and do daily target as well? Daily target will not take you a lot of time. Daily target will take 20 minutes in quant, 20 minutes in verbal and 20 minutes in LRDA. That 1 hour you have to set aside, and you can, for example, on the way to your office, if you're working, solve one of the daily targets. It doesn't really matter because you should take it up as some sort of a fun activity that you're doing. The lessons and all should be taken a lot more seriously where you're paying 100% attention. But daily targets are a good way to practice. So you should try to find time. And I'm sure you will be able to find time because daily targets, each one of them will take you hardly 20 minutes. Renu Canvas is saying, good evening, sir. You have given me so much confidence by your interactive videos. Thank you. Thanks a lot, Renu Canvas, for attending this. Please do like the stream. I am ABC target is saying, sir, when will next batch will start? Next batch, actually we have a 7-month batch, 7-month CAT batch. It started yesterday. It just started yesterday. So if you're looking to join a batch for CAT, definitely do send us a mail to support@kraku.in and we'll get back to you. Darshan Pandey is saying, how to improve in grammatical section. Grammar is not super important for you with respect to CAT because no question is asked from grammar itself. But if you're good at grammar, you will be able to do the verbal ability questions much better. So improving grammar is definitely will have positive side effects, and you will improve grammar if you inculcate a good reading habit. If you read a lot of papers or if you read a lot of even novels, then you immediately will figure out whether a sentence is constructed in a grammatically correct manner or not. Harish is saying, sir, how are doubts clarified? Do we get access to mentors through WhatsApp or calls? Every question that we have, below every question, you have a space for you to ask doubts. And all the doubts that are asked go to a dashboard which are answered very regularly. Typically, every doubt is answered within 48 to 72 hours. Only during weekends and all, there might be some slight delay. But normally, all the doubts are answered very, very efficiently. And then the response time is quite quick. Vanshika Singhal is saying, what does an ideal daily study schedule for CAT 2022 look like? An ideal study schedule will have you work for around 1 to 2 hours every single day from now till CAT and probably taking 1 mock every 2 weeks. That I think is how a ideal schedule will look like. Like I mentioned earlier, in this 1 to 2 hours, there will be 80% as of now where you will be watching videos, that is passive learning, and 20% where you will actually be answering questions which are related to the videos. That I think is an ideal schedule. Monu Raj is saying, sir, daily newspaper reading is necessary for CAT exam. See, nothing is necessary for CAT exam. You can directly take the examination on that day, and many people actually do well directly on that day also. But what I know is that if you read newspaper every single day, it will definitely help you quite a lot on the day of the examination. So whatever hobbies you are creating, whatever free time you have, instead of say watching some random videos on YouTube, it is better for you to relax or chill in doing something productive, which will have positive side effects. Like if you read a newspaper to relax, even if you are reading some news about movies, if you are reading something that will improve your comprehension skills. So definitely do read. Vipul Kumar is saying, sir, are there any batches for 2023? We do have a batch for CAT 2023, that is for next year's CAT. Please do send a mail to support@kraku.in and we'll get back to you with the details. Shailesh is saying, sir, watching videos and answering concept tests on weekdays and practicing on weekends for about 2 months now. From now be okay. Yeah. I think if you are already doing that, then I think you are definitely on the right track. Just continue doing that. Don't put off the start of your preparation lot longer, because right now I think you have 7 months. This is an ideal time for you to start. So definitely do start. Nasib Punya saying, sir, I have 1 year gap after my graduation, no work ex. Will it affect my interview or should I join an NGO? I would definitely recommend you to apply for a job, try to get some job, because having a job will ensure that on the day of the examination you are not feeling very stressed out. If you already have 1 year break right now, on the day of the examination, imagine how your nerves will be. You feel that if you don't do well on the day of the examination, you'll have to waste another 1 year. So that is definitely going to impact how you perform. Joining an NGO just to do well in the interview and all is something that I don't recommend. If you join an NGO, it should be out of your own inner beliefs that, okay, I'm going to join this NGO and I'm going to do a good job. If you join a job, another important thing that will happen is that it will help in your work ex points, because if you want to get into a good institute, they count your work ex also and get you some points. In addition to that, if you actually work somewhere, once you are doing an MBA, you will be able to understand and make the best use of the MBA. In some of the MBA institutes, there will be case studies. You will be able to relate much better to those case studies if you actually have work ex. So everything will not be theory at that time. If a case involves having some confrontation with your manager, if you actually work and you have some experience, then you will be able to relate much better to that case. You will know that, okay, a few years back when I was working in this particular company, there was some issue and it was dealt in a particular way, and this case is teaching us about a different way to actually handle that kind of a situation. So you'll be able to relate to it much better, so you will become a better manager. So for many of these reasons, if you have an option, definitely do take up a job. Suhil Kohli is saying, thank you sir, this was very inspiring. My speed is a bit low but accuracy is high, which is very good. It means that you should improve your speed. Kumar Swami is saying, sir, can you please tell me complete Kraku covers? Complete Kraku is basically our most comprehensive course for CAT. It contains everything that is there on our website. It contains videos. It contains long conceptual videos. Every concept that is important for CAT is covered in the complete Kraku course. It will contain mocks. We are having 15 mocks, full length mocks for CAT, and 45 sectionals. All the mocks will have video solutions. This also is covered in complete Kraku. In addition to that, you will get complete access to the daily target. Daily target is taken every day by thousands of students. Like I said earlier, daily target will have one test in quant, one test in LRD, and one test in verbal every single day. All of these tests will have video solutions. This also will be covered in complete Kraku. And in addition to that, you also get access to the Kraku study room. Kraku study room is a collection of around 15,000 very good questions for CAT. And the questions that you actually get will be dependent on your proficiency level. So somebody who is doing very well in a particular topic will get more difficult questions. That also is covered in complete Kraku. It's a very comprehensive course. Definitely try to enroll to it. Ruturaj Patel is saying, does Kraku conduct offline classes for CAT 2022 preparation? No. We don't have offline classes for CAT 2022. We have only online classes. Naveen Kumar is saying, sir, how to enroll to Kraku CAT course latest batch? Latest batch, like I mentioned, we have just started a 7-month CAT batch yesterday. If you want to enroll to it, please do send us a mail to support@kraku.in. Let me go to the next slide now, and then I'll come back and answer some more questions. Important topics in verbal. Many students, especially engineers, face a lot of difficulty in verbal, but verbal is one particular section where improvement can be quite drastic in a few months. The first thing is you should believe that this is possible. And if you look at some of the examples, there are many students who have improved their verbal percentile from 70s to 95 plus in 1 year. And it is not just a fluke, it involves a lot of strategy. I myself, for example, the first time I took CAT, my percentile in verbal was around 78 percentile. But the next time I took CAT, my verbal percentile was 97%. Because I realized that what is the best way to improve in verbal. In those days, for example, there used to be questions in grammar. Nowadays, questions in grammar don't come, but in those days, for example, grammar questions used to come up, and I was not very good at grammar. I tried to improve in grammar, but I was not able to figure out the best way to improve in grammar. It was not really working out. Then I asked a few friends of mine who were actually doing well in grammar, and they told me that they don't know any rules about how to get better in grammar, but once they hear a sentence, they can immediately figure out whether it is grammatically correct or not. Sometimes the way a sentence sounds, they were able to figure it out that okay, this is good and this is not good. And they told me that they can actually figure it out because they have read a lot. So from then on, what I used to do in those days was that I used to buy a lot of novels and I used to read novels out aloud. When I'm reading a novel out loud, I know exactly how a sentence is constructed in good English books. So my grammar suddenly became much better because I was hearing good grammar, good grammatically well constructed sentences quite a lot. So when I'm hearing a sentence which is because I was reading so much, my comprehension skills also improved. Now that is one way in which I personally have improved from 78 to 97, and I myself have seen many of our students who were struggling in verbal really improve quite a lot in 1 year. And the area of their focus is always reading comprehension. Reading comprehension is like the fountainhead of verbal section. If you get better at reading comprehension, you are definitely going to improve in even the other topics like para-jumbles, para-completions. All of this you will get better. Why would you get better? Because if you are improving reading comprehension, you will be able to figure out what the author is trying to say in a particular passage. And if you understand why an author is constructing a particular passage in a particular way, you will suddenly become slightly better even at para-jumbles, because you know that for an author to make a particular point or for an author to come to a particular conclusion, he has to present a few other things before he actually comes to the conclusion. So when you are looking at a para-jumbled, for example, a para-jumbled set, you know that okay, this is the conclusion, but before this conclusion something else has to come. All this will improve if you get better at reading comprehension. And how can you get better at reading comprehension? Like I mentioned earlier, there is no alternative to actually reading. But again, when you're reading, try to be reading actively. What does active reading mean? If you, for example, you're reading an op-ed or an editorial. Now, an editorial will have a few passages. After every passage, make a mental note of what is the important theme of that particular paragraph. If you want, you can actually write it down. Okay, that the first paragraph, what the author is trying to convey is this particular thing. Write it down in one line. Then go to the second paragraph. Again, write down one line. Then go to the third paragraph, again write down one line, and after you have finished the entire passage, just write down the summary of what the author is trying to convey in just say 1 or 2 lines. That's it. That is active reading, because this way you won't switch off. Whenever you are reading something, you are trying to comprehend what you are reading. This way your comprehension skills will improve quite a lot. The second thing that you should do is make a list of the sites to read regularly. Some of this and make a list of it right now. At least right now, as in the coming few days, and then keep browsing these sites regularly. Some of the sites that I browse to improve my reading comprehension skills are basically well known websites from which either passages come or actually well known websites where you can find good op-ed articles. One of the sites that I visit quite regularly is The Guardian. And one of the reasons I actually enjoy going to The Guardian is because their sports coverage is terrific. This is one of the best coverage for sports. So I try to go to The Guardian every day, at least to read some of the articles on sports. But I also ensure that after I am done with the sports section, I try to read at least one op-ed on Guardian. There are different op-ed sections. You have cultural op-eds, you have political op-eds, but I try to read at least one opinion article on The Guardian after I am done with the sports coverage. The reason for this is because I enjoy reading about sports, so I'll definitely go there. And I'm also doing something constructive by reading at least one op-ed. This way you will actually improve your reading skills a lot in the coming 7 months. In addition to that, make a list of the websites from which the last 5-6 years CAT passages have come, and try to go through these websites also regularly. The reason for that, make it a habit such that you are doing something that you enjoy. In addition to that, you are also trying to improve your reading habits. Like in LRDA, one other thing that I would recommend you to do is go through the CAT 2017, 18, 19, 20 and 21 papers. And in verbal section, try to figure out what is the topic of the reading comprehensions. If you look at the topics, some of the topics that come quite regularly is science and technology. This is definitely very important. In addition to that, you will definitely get at least quite often philosophical articles. You also get some historical articles, like something used to happen 500 years ago and something happened. And you sometimes even get articles which were psychological in nature. like some person's dreams are analyzed, something on those lines. And one of the themes that I notice in CAT is that most of these articles have some relevance to something which is going on right now. So for you to actually connect to these passages, it will also help if you are actually quite thorough with the current affairs. If you are following the current affairs quite regularly and you see an article which is giving you some sort of a comparison between something that happened earlier and something that is happening now, you will be able to read it without losing concentration. So that is another reason why I would recommend you to read the newspaper regularly, because if you have a good understanding of current affairs, you will also be doing better at reading comprehension, because the passages that are asked have some relevance to whatever is going on in today's time. Another thing that I would recommend you to do is at least read a few articles in these topics so that you have some understanding of either psychology or science and technology, because the more understanding you have, the more your concentration will be on the day of the examination. You would not find a particular topic to be too dry. If you have some understanding, some prior understanding even before you actually attend the examination. So for that, you should try to increase the range of your reading skills. You shouldn't read articles from only a particular topic. Starting there is always good. Starting reading in any particular topic is good. But as time goes by, you have 7 months. So try to read from a wide variety of diverse set of articles, so that on the day of the examination, you are better prepared. Let me answer a few questions and then we'll go to LRDI. Naveen Kumar is saying, sir, does the course cover complete syllabus for CAT 2022? Yeah. Complete Kraku is a very, very good course. You will get a lot of material. The entire syllabus is covered. If you have joined the 7-month batch, which has started yesterday, the entire syllabus will also be covered much in advance, 7-month CAT course. So yeah, I'm actually quite proud of our courses. We put in a lot of time to ensure that we are giving the best courses for our students. So you should definitely not have any second thoughts. Vipul Kumar is saying, sir, which topic I have to take first? I'm a beginner. Like I mentioned earlier, in quant, there are 4 important topics: geometry, arithmetic, algebra, very important. And in addition to that, definitely do even modern maths. In verbal, definitely go through reading comprehension. Just focus on it. Spend a lot of time in trying to get better at reading comprehension. Kumar Swami Neredamalla is saying, sir, I want to enroll to CAT 7-month batch. Yeah, if you are looking to enroll to our batch, please do send a mail to support@kraku.in. And somebody is going to get back to you on it. Pratik Kotak is saying, sir, just preparing arithmetic and geometry enough to score above 90 percentile? Very good question. In general, I believe that if you are very good at geometry and arithmetic, in quant, I think you will definitely cross 80 percentile. That is just by covering 2 topics. If you are crossing 80 percentile, you can understand the importance of those topics. Shailesh is saying, sir, how can I start daily target along with following the schedule? I think I answered this question earlier. Prem Raj Chakrabarti is saying, sir, how many mocks does Kraku provide for CAT? We are providing 3 free mocks, 3 free CAT mocks. In addition to that, we are providing 15 full-length mocks. All of these mocks will have video solutions. And in addition to that, we have 45 sectionals. 45 sectionals basically will be 15 sectionals for quant, 15 for LRDI and 15 for verbal. Pratik Kotak is saying, sir, last 2 years I have been working with my father in his business. Does that count? If your father's business is registered and if you are getting a certificate from the company that you have worked there, it should count. Okay, let us look at LRDI. Many people actually ask us how they can improve in LRDI. If you are looking to improve in LRDI, you should definitely first go through the previous papers. LRDI is one of the three sections. LRDI is the most difficult to get a significant improvement in 1 year, because you should answer a wide variety of LRDI sets, but it is not impossible. The first step in improving in LRDI is first solving the previous papers, understanding what are the kind of different sets that are asked. go through the previous 5 years of CAT papers, look at the different slots, and try to arrange each of the topic, each of the set by a particular topic. You get different types of LRDI sets. You have some scheduling sets, you have some arrangement sets, you have some Venn diagram sets, you have some quant based LRDIs, which will probably involve some permutations and combinations. So there are different types of LRDI sets that are asked, but you should have an understanding of what are all the different sets that are asked, and you'll get a good understanding only if you're going through the previous papers. Many times a completely new set is asked, but that is not the case with every set. Every year, for example, if you're having last year, in every slot there were 4 sets. Even if one set is completely new and very difficult, you at least have 3 sets of which similar sets were asked in the earlier papers. They won't be exactly the same, but the topic will be quite similar. That is the first step. The second step to do is try to solve Sudokus, because if you solve Sudokus, I believe that you will also keep getting better at LRDI. Solving different types of puzzles will also help you. These puzzles need not necessarily be puzzles for CAT. Any puzzle that you see on the net, try to answer it. If you want, you can buy some books on puzzles and try to answer those puzzles. In addition to that, you should answer as many LRDI sets as possible. One way in which you can definitely improve is, for example, if you are solving one LRDI set every single day from a different type of LRDI set. You get this from Krakow Daily Target. Imagine how good you will be on the day of the examination if every single day you are answering the LRDI set provided in Krakow Daily Target. Just that. So from now till CAT, you will have close to say 200 sets which you have answered. Imagine the amount of confidence you will have on the day of the examination when you know that, okay, I have just by solving Krakow Daily Target, I have taken 200 LRDI sets of different types of LRDI sets, and I have understood most of them. I couldn't solve some of them, but I have looked at the video solution. Now I have understood it. On the day of the examination, you will feel that you have answered a lot of sets, and you are actually quite, you are at least better on that day than you are today. This is how you will improve in LRDI, by practicing, by trying to answer a different, as many different varieties of LRDI sets, and by solving different types of Sudokus and puzzles. Now let us go through some of the commonly asked questions before we end this stream. The frequently asked questions is, how much time is needed daily? Every day I would say that you have to prepare around 1 to 2 hours every single day from now till CAT. Towards the end, I think you can give more time from say July, August, maybe 2 to 3 hours, and slowly from say October also, maybe 5 to 6 hours every single day. But right now, I think if you take 1 to 2 hours every day, that should be sufficient. How many mocks are needed? The toppers that I interact with, the real toppers, like people who are completely at the top, like say 99.5 plus, they usually take around 40 mocks over the course of their preparation. That is from now till CAT, and you have to space it out. Right now, I would say take 1 mock every 2 weeks. Don't wait for you for finishing the portion. Start taking mocks, because then you will have some sort of a calibration that, okay, what am I doing right, what am I doing wrong, and then you can course correct. That will happen only if you're taking mocks from now on. But try to take 1 mock every 2 weeks right now, and from say August or so, try to make it 1 mock every week. Should I take a drop to prepare for CAT? I think I have answered this earlier also. I would strongly recommend you to not take a drop. Find a job that will help you in multiple ways if you're trying to do your MBA next year. My grades are poor. This is a question that is often asked. Many people tell us that, okay, their grades in 10th are poor or 12th are poor, or many people say that in their graduation they have not done very well, and what they can do now. The thing is, you can't do much about your graduation scores unless you are still studying. Then you can try to do well in the last year and try to improve your scores. But if you have already finished graduation, there is nothing you can do about it. Just focus on CAT, and if you do well in CAT, all the previous mistakes are forgiven. Just focus on CAT, which is in your hands, and try to make the best use of the opportunities that you have. Let me answer a few things. Saksham Sharma is saying, sir, how many daily sets for LRDI? I would say if you're doing 1 or 2 sets every single day, that is more than sufficient. There is no need for you to get worked up. I believe in consistency. If you're doing 1 to 2 LRDI sets every single day, you will definitely see a significant improvement in 3 to 4 months. Siddharth is saying, do I need to solve any other material or books apart from reading for VRC? Solve reading comprehension passages. Try to solve 1 or 2 reading comprehension passages every single day. Again, that will help. apart from Complete Krakow? No, I don't think so. Complete Krakow is a very comprehensive course. If you make the best use of it, you'll do exceptionally well in CAT. So other than that, I don't think you need anything else. Rakshita Kaushik is saying, sir, how many questions should we look at attempting correctly to cross 99 percentile? I don't want to answer these questions because then you have some sort of a preconceived notion, a predetermined number before you actually enter the examination hall. That is something that I would strongly recommend against, because sometimes the paper might be very easy or very difficult. What I would suggest is you should definitely go through all the questions. You should at least see all the questions, even if you don't attempt them on the day of the examination. And if you feel you can attempt it, you should get it correct. It shouldn't be that you are not looking at a particular question. So for example, if say there are 20 or 22 questions on the day of the examination, you only look at the first 10 and you solve them, and then the time is over. That kind of a thing is not good. You should ensure that you are going through all the questions and you are attempting the questions that you are comfortable with, and you are trying to increase it as much as you can. That I think should be your mindset. You shouldn't go into the examination hall thinking that I should get 10 questions correct. That I think is a bad strategy. Okay, this is the last question. Amish Gupta is saying, sir, I have taken CAT 2 times and have not done well. Is it advisable to join a Tier 3 MBA college now or give CAT again? It depends on your profile. If your 10th and 12th are good, if your undergraduation is good, if you have a job right now, if you are working somewhere, then I would recommend you to continue working and taking CAT again. But say you don't have a job, you already have say 1 year gap, then I would say do an MBA, don't increase the gap. That is not very good. Siddhant Vaichal is saying, can we prepare for banking exams along with CAT as a backup, sir? Yeah, I think if you're preparing for CAT, banking also, the portion and the topics are quite similar. But you should give CAT if you are looking to do an MBA. You should have that clarity of clarity that, okay, I want to do an MBA for a particular reason. It shouldn't be that I'm going to take CAT, and if I don't get into CAT, I'll try to get into some government job. That probably is not the right way to approach CAT. It will help if you're preparing for CAT, it will definitely help in your banking examination also. But I think you should spend some more time in trying to get clarity about why you want to do an MBA. Okay guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. Please do like this stream and please do subscribe to our channel.